biggest tip for using table where doggies can jump up or walk up, have the dog jump up on the table. Request, lure, but don't lift. This is a huge thing, a very good habit if you can learn it, because if you get into the habit of asking doggies, like requesting, I don't like to say commands, because dogs have feelings and needs just like we have. If my husband were to ask me like, okay, you have to do the dishes today, then I might not in the mood, I might want to get some rest, I might actually do it anyways, but we are allowed, and doggies are allowed to have feelings and needs, and commands, using commands like, oh, up, there, down, whatever, it's not aligned with the philosophy I have. So that's why I use request. So request a doggy to go up there and they can totally just jump up. Many doggies know how to jump up, especially if you have a treat or toy in your hands. So have them jump up there. And if you use treats, toys, funny sounds, something like that, then it's gonna make the experience more exciting, so the doggies are more willing to work with you. Use momentum. Like many doggies who are like, oh, I'm not really sure about this table thing, can just jump up there without issues. If you walk a couple of steps away from the table, get them hyped up, like, oh, we're gonna play, and rub them all over and like ask them to come with you, and then you walk fast towards the table and ask them to jump up. You can use momentum to get them on the table. And many doggies, especially if you combine these, hype them up a little bit further away from the table, use treats and toys and squeaky sounds and whatnot, and then you ask them to jump up, they will most likely do it, especially if there is nothing else more exciting around. So this is a pretty powerful method, especially if you combine them. Another thing what I like to do when doggies don't want to go on the table, and I really don't want to lift them, because we really shouldn't, boys, girls, males, females, we really should not. Humans really not up to lifting loads of doggies all day long. Not cool. So try to avoid that. What I do with doggies who are shy a little bit, especially for beginners like puppies, like, oh, this is a big table and it's pretty scary. I go up there. I lower it. I get on the table. And I make a little feast for them. I put out treats, yummies on the sides, and a little trail leading to me. And it really helps for them to get used to the table. And it's not like just like, okay, I will throw you up there and then you need to get used to it and I'm starting grooming right away. They can get used to it. And this time investment, what you are doing here, will be a huge help for and the doggy owner and the doggy, and for you. So I highly recommend you to get this service on your list, like first timer meet and greet for puppies, or getting used to grooming for puppies, like 10-15 minutes, and charge for it. And so you have time, and parents have less on their plate to deal with the puppy, and then you have the table and the environment to get the dog used to it. So it's very beneficial if you take the time and get a doggy used to this with a little bit of training. Use a loop if a dog is really stubborn, like really don't like, not comfy with the situation, getting on the table, and you tried all of this above. One trick I like to use, and it's kind of a cheat, so give them a huge reward after you're doing this, because it's a little bit of a betrayal, but with a good payoff it works. And then once they are over that first initial sensation, like, okay, I'm up there, this is not bad because I have loads of yummies. Use a leash. I have a leash here, and this is only for getting doggies on the table who don't want to get on the table. I have this little quick thing, and this is just for demonstration and getting them in the mood, like, we're gonna go for a walk. And this is what I said by cheating, like I'm making them expect that we're gonna go on a walkie. They get excited and they are like, okay, I'm gonna walk near you, because they are used to walk near whoever is walking them. So I put this on their neck. You don't have to tighten it or anything. It's just there, and we are like, okay, let's go for a walkie. And then the table is of course low and the doggy will jump up. Now I bet you this will get doggies on the table, like 98% of the doggies if the environment is nice and oh hello kitty cat, is nice and chill, and their previous experience is more fun and not a tragic one, or traumatic one. So don't start with this trick though, because it's a betrayal for them. With loads of rewards, it can work as a last resort once or twice for the doggy, but they're gonna know this. And plus it's not too nice to get them on the table, but we need to get them a haircut. So we can spend like half day getting them used to the table. They need a haircut, right? So there are scary situations and we can get them over those situations. And this trick is as one of the last resorts for you to give a try in case the doggy is not cooperating. If you must lift half a dog. And this is the very, very last resort. I want you to try everything and anything before you get to this step, because this can really screw with your lower back, even if you do it right. So you need to lift from your thighs, your butt, and knees, getting the doggy up, and work with 50% of the dog. What do I mean by that? Lift only the front and then the back, and that way the doggy will, once gets used to the table, not like poof, I'm putting up the doggy there, but gets used to the table, like okay, 2 legs up, I'm not dead yet, so that's nice, and then they can get used to the table that way a little bit easier without you breaking your back. But again, this is a very last resort. After you exhausted everything before I suggested, or even tried yours, whatever is not here, share it with me please, what worked for you. And this way you're gonna be able to get doggies up, and you can keep your back safe and comfortable, because it really sucks when you have a back issue. When I started out, I was looking back, and I got a request from a soon-to-be groomer. She said it in the email that she's a wannabe groomer, but I'm sensing that she's a soon-to-be groomer because of her questions. She's really passionate about it. And her question about lower back issues really made me think about my past and how I started. And when I was transitioning from my, after graduating in the grooming school, I had a few back issues at the beginning. And it was basically because they did not really teach us back there. I got my certificate in Europe, and it was like 12 years ago, something like that. So they were really not that big on keeping you healthy. It was more like how to do a haircut. And even the dog's comfort was not that important. Get it done, and that's all was taught really. And of course, we evolved from there so much, thankfully. But yeah, it can be pretty tricky for your lower back to get in the good habits, how to move around the table, what we're going to talk about, and how to strengthen those muscles back there that are not really used to these exercises, what we're going to do around the grooming table and around the doggies. So it really helps if you do exercises, and again, we're going to cover this one as well, to stretch and to strengthen these muscles that we use more frequently than before.